All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another rousing rendition of the BREADren podcast in the segment we like to call Cocktail Convos, where we have conversations with success vets and very special guests we got on this evening. Lifelong friend, Renaissance man, jack of all trades, Mr. Juel Taylor. Some of y'all may not know him, but I guarantee you, if you look at some of the movie credits and TV shows that you watch, you will see his name scrolling across the screen, man. It's a pleasure, bro. How you doing, dog?
What's up, man? You ain't gonna tell them we went to motherfucking pre-kindergarten?
Oh, we getting into that. Look, we getting into that. I'm going to preface this conversation right now by saying, look, I have literally known this man my entire life, and like my entire life, pre-K, like still went to bed probably like pre-K up like entire life.
But now they're putting in the cafeteria.
Snack packs. Snack pack days. Slushies and snack pack.
Pizza Lunchables. Right. You know what I'm saying?
St. Joseph, man. Look, I've been knowing this man forever, bro. This man. That was part of the conversation I wanted to have with you is like our entire life you've always been like talented. Like everybody around us knows that. Like you could draw. You was decent at sports, soccer, basketball. Like me and you had a rap group for a short period of time. Like you were rapping, you know. Like, but you've always been a creative spirit. Like dead ass. Like you've always had creativity in you. You've always been a talented person. And the first question I want to ask you is what sent you towards film? Like I know you went down to Florida, you went to U of F, and you did film school, but I'm like, Juel does film. Shout out to the Gators. But I'm like, when I first heard it, I was like, okay, Juel doing film? I'm like, okay, because like you always been talented, so it wasn't that crazy, but it's just like film. But like, what pushed you towards that direction?
I mean, I was in so my freshman year at Florida. I was an art student. I was an art major because I was trying to do video game design, and so Florida ain't had no video game design program. So like the closest thing they had was like this kind of, it's called digital arts and sciences. So it was like engineering and art. So it's like you had to take year of like engineering courses, like math courses and all that kind of shit, computer courses, and then you also take art class. So it wasn't really video game design, but it was like the closest thing they had. And so I was trying to hold off all the math classes. And I don't like math, but I started with the art classes. You know what I'm saying? So I was an art major. So while I was taking my art classes, I had a project my freshman year. So first of all, I was not a great art student, ironically. I was like a good student, but I wasn't a good art student. So like I got a D my first semester. I ain't never got a D in my life and nothing. You know what I'm saying? I got a D. I was in college. I got a fucking C and a D. Now I was like, oh shit. Like I actually was like super average in terms of being an art student, but the one project I had a project in this like 4-hour like boot camp class that I had to do my freshman year, my second semester, and we had a project, and I was like, man, I'm gonna make a film because I was being lazy and I was trying to get around doing it. We were supposed to collaborate with artists, so like. You picked a name out of a bucket, and I picked this dude David Shrigley, who's like this kind of irreverent artist. He do like photography and he do like kind of almost like comic style art. And so I just happened to pick this dude. I never heard of him, and so I was like, damn. And the assignment was like to combine your art style with their art style and like collaborate with them. So like, people had like there was like painters and sculptors, all kind of different styles of art in the thing. So like somebody might be a person who specializes in like sculpture, And then like they might pick a painter out the hat. So you might like sculpt something and paint it. And that's like y'all collaboration, you know.
Right.
I'm gonna do a film. That's gonna be my part that I bring into. I don't know how that even came to mind, but so I had went and borrowed my boy one of my classmates like handy cams, and then I just like made a little short film. But he had like a very like satirical like it's kind of like almost like newspaper, comics. You know, they do like satire. And
yeah.
So I made a little short about a motherfucker made out of paper. You know, he was just like macking and hanging and smoking weed and it was stupid. But I was probably the most well received thing I did like my freshman year in all my art classes. Mm-hmm. Like people loved it. I was like, oh, this shit kind of cool. So I just had to clock it. Like, okay, it's kind of fun. And then I met one of my classmates who actually wanted to direct. He was a graphic design major. And I got cool with this dude, and he was like, I thought he was like Steven Spielberg. I was like, it's dirty. He's cold with the film shit. So that ended up being like one of my best friends in Florida. So we just kind of started doing that just on the side, you know what I'm saying, just messing around. I was just kind of just chilling, like, all right, shit, you know. YouTuber just came out, so we tried to make a web series. And so I just kind of, I liked it. I had in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, it's kind of fun, though. I kind of fuck with this.
Right.
In my end of my sophomore year, going in my junior year, the program I was trying to do is a program where you got to have a portfolio to get in. So they take a limited amount of students every year. So after my sophomore year, I had done all my art requirements. My portfolio ain't get picked. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't get in to the program.
Right.
Like, damn. So it's like, you know, I could be a general arts major, you know what I mean? Like a generic visual arts major, or like switch to graphic design. Like I could save like my credits if I did like
right.
If I did like graphic design, I could have saved my credits. If I did visual arts, which is like generic art degree, I was like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't really fucking with it. So. But I was like, by that time, I had been making stuff with my boy Adam, just like little shorts and stuff. Just I'm like, maybe I could save my credits if I like tell him I'm gonna be a movie director. You know, so I was like, so I did interdisciplinary. So I applied for interdisciplinary. So you can basically pick your own major. So I I did hold on, dogs and nothing. Let me open the nose. You're gonna be barking and shit. It's a real interview shit. But like, we could cut that out, or maybe not. It don't matter. But we leave it in. It keeps it for the realism of the shit. But so I was like, fucking, let me try to apply to interdisciplinary. So you can't apply for that until your senior year. And so I took a year of theater. I was like, all right, I got to plot now if I'm going to do it. Because, like, I don't know what I'm going to do with all these credits. I don't want to be no regular art major.
Right.
If I took a year of theater, though, then I could, I could say, like, my photography classes I had to take. I could make a reason and kind of sell it. Yeah, I could finagle it. So I switched into theater for a year, and then my senior year in Florida, I went to English film analysis, so I like did my application and, finagled it, you know what I'm saying? And then I ended up, having a film degree, which, got like, I didn't like waste all those art credits that I did for 2 years.
Right.
But then I had like a worthless degree, you know what I'm saying? So I can do shit with this, And I never took film class, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's only one class. There's only one directing class at Florida at the time. And it was in telecommunication. It was like telecom class. So they didn't even let me take it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I couldn't take the one directing class. So it was like, I graduated with like this kind of just bootleg ass major. So I was like, well, I guess I should probably try to start doing more of this film shit because that's what my degree is.
Right.
So, I just kind of started like, trying to do more shorts and stuff like that, and little funky ass music video thing. I went back to Bama though.
Right.
And I was just doing a little music video, random thing, just artists that you'll never hear music videos. Just things that'll be lost in time, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, what's crazy is like you mentioned that, and like that's a blip in my mind where I was like, Joe was doing like music videos like for a second, but it's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like it's like a blip. I was like, wait, you was doing that, but it's crazy that you said that you was like, I want to do video game design because that's exactly why I was going to school too. Like I literally was like, I told my mom, I was like, I want to do video game design. And she was like, where you want to go? I was like, I want to go to, at first I wanted to go to SCAD, Savannah College of Arts and Design. And then I looked at Full Sail because Full Sail actually had, a video game degree.
I was at Florida looking at, I had some friends at Full Sail. I was like, man, why? I never heard of Full Sail till I was in college. And I was like, what?
Right. And Brian Barrow, he graduated from Full Sail with like a engineering production degree. So he went down there for a second.
Hearing all kind of shit at Full Sail.
Yeah, like Full Sail, you could like anything not normal, like anything arts and entertainment for real. Full Sail got it. So I was like, yo, I want to go to Full Sail. I want to do video game design. My mom was like, so
in college, like when I was like in that period of like trying to figure out like, damn, what I'm gonna do. I was like, man, I need to take my ass to grad school at Full Sail so I can get a degree I can use.
And I wanted to go to Full Sail. My mom was like, so yeah, that's not a real school. So you got to go to a real school first. And then I was like, she realized, was like, yo, it's not a real school.
Full Sail though, they get it in though.
I know it, but she wanted to go. She wanted that 4-year traditional institution of higher learning and shit. And I was like, all right. So I was like, I was like, okay, Georgia Tech. She was like, yeah, I want you to go to the HBCU. I was like, cool. So I was like, NCAT and Grambling, and it was because of the same way that you it was like, they don't have an actual degree for that, but they had software engineering. And I was like, I can go that route and figure out, like, once I get into it, I can figure out how I can, like, apply this to video game design. Fast forward, I ended up going to Tuskegee, started out in computer science because I was like, all right, we'll figure this out. And then I got computer science. I was like, I hate this shit. I hate this shit. And I was like, what can I do? I was like, sales and marketing. Let me get out. Let me get this business degree. Let me get out. But it's crazy because it's like I wanted the video game design too, but it was just like that path is like it's different. It's not normal, especially for how we were raised. You know what I'm saying? Your mom's a doctor. Our parents, we raised in Tuskegee with all surrounded by people that went to college. So it's like it's embedded in us to go to like for one, it's embedded like go to school, and then it's like when you come with some kind of like offshoot, it's like I want to go to art school. They're like, that's not real. They're like, so what are you gonna do with that? Like, where are you gonna work with an art degree? And it's like, no, I want to do something with it. They're like, no, that's not real. We're going to a real
school. Even I wanted to go to art high school. I wanted to go to Brew Tech. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to go to the fucking art the technology high school that had the computer shit. Because I was like, man,
yeah.
I was like, you going to lamp, man. Fucking
it's wild, man.
That's where you going.
Right. You go, higher learning.
Yeah.
But so you leave Florida and you say you like, all right, I gotta do something with this. You come home for a minute and then you end up going to USC. So while you at home, is that like you come home and you're doing what you're doing, you're trying to like use your degree. And or in that process, are you applying in, or did you come home trying to figure it out and then you figured it out?
Yeah, I came home and I ain't do shit for like 3 years. Like I was like bullshitting. I was doing I hadn't had like any training really, you know what I'm saying? And so everything was just like self-taught from just mess. I didn't know. I laugh when I think about some of the stuff I did in Florida because like on a film tip, like I didn't know what like I didn't even know what softening, like how to soften, like the things that like high school students know. Like, you know, I didn't do any film, nothing.
Nah.
I'm saying, like, I mean, obviously not in Tuskegee and not on Montgomery. I wasn't around nothing. So, you know, when I graduated, I was like, man, I really don't know what to do with this shit for real. Because I'm like, honestly, I don't have any experience really. You know what I mean? Like, I got to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really know the first thing about filmmaking for real. But I'm like, I can write, you know what I'm saying? I can write. So, you know what I mean? I like, let me just try to write, you know, and bought some screenwriting books. And me and a dude I did improv with, actually. He was the director of my improv troupe when I was a theater major in improv class. And so I was like, man, you know, shit, let's write a script. So I wrote a script with my boy just to try to do it, you know what I'm saying? Bought screenwriting books, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of read them, see what the format was like. And just was like, all right, well, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really feel like I could write. So, you know, let me just mess around with it, you know, in the meantime. Just kind of see if I can put something down, you know what I'm saying? So we wrote a script. Right. Like, okay, writing shit ain't bad neither, you know? And so like I was back home. Honestly, I didn't think I would get into film school. You know what I'm saying? Because I would see on YouTube, you know, you just look around and you see like film school students projects and like, I'm like, wow, this shit amazing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, these are people my age. And I'm like, I don't even, how the hell do they do that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I don't know shit about filmmaking for real. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, I ain't getting into fucking USC or none of these film schools. You know what I'm saying? So I just didn't apply because I was like, man, I ain't even gonna get into that shit, you know.
Right.
After a couple of years, I was like, damn, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. Like I gotta figure something out quick. You know what I'm saying? So I had made some stuff. It was all like really weird. The shit I did at Florida was really like experimental. You know, it was like more like an art student making films. It was like super trippy, experimental kind of stuff that had like no production value, you know. And so when about 2.5, almost 3 years after I graduated, all right, man, I'm gonna apply. You know, now I ain't got nothing else going on. But then I had applied to film school, and I, you know, shot one more little short in my neighborhood with my homeboy daddy as the actor. I was a cameraman. Sound was built into the camera. Like it was no production value. And
rudimentary.
Yeah, it was rudimentary. It's on YouTube still, I think. But like, crazy enough, I don't know how, but like, I got into film school. You know what I'm saying? Like off my, but I had good like application materials, you know what I'm saying? Like in terms of like other part of it, like I always knew I'd do all right on the writing part. I knew it'd be straight, but like the film part, I ain't gonna fuck with this. But like I just submitted it at a certain point and walked around and got in. I was like, oh shit, USC is taking anybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like these you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't get into NYU, you know what I'm saying? I didn't get into AFI. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't apply to that many places because, like, a lot of places you had to take the GRE. And I was like, man, I ain't taking no test. You know what I'm saying? So, I had to apply to a lot of places because they had extra like the places I thought I might fuck around and be able to get in, like that weren't quite as like big schools. But they had like more. Strangely, they had like more requirements. Like, I took a GRE, like Texas. You got to take a GRE to go to tech. It's like a couple places where you got to take more tests and shit. And like, fuck all that. But like, I had got into basically Columbia and USC, you know, and like both of them, you know, it's like the places I got into, they was, you know, they really was recruiting me. You know what I'm saying? USC wasn't recruiting me, but like the classmates, like they sent me out. I went to this little admitted student day, and I was like, man, this shit hitting, And then like all of my classmates or potential classmates who got accepted, they was all calling me and hit me up and recruiting me. I was like, damn, like Columbia, they was fucking with me. So I was like, all right, we'll go ahead and take my ass out here and see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And
right. I
had met a couple of the students at the kind of like the mixer for like admitted students. And they was cool as hell. I thought it was gonna be like real like, uppity, you know what I mean? Because
right, Hollywood.
I thought I was gonna have the least experience of everybody in grad school, but like grad program at USC is actually about half the people they accept aren't even from film. That's what I didn't know at the time. So they accept like I mean, who used to be lawyers, people who were like economists, like people who doing career changes. Like so they be looking for people with just like totally different experiences. Like USC perspective, we could teach you how to do the film part, but we looking for like what's your story? Like what's your application? Like you know what I'm saying? Like what's the storytelling talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like they're not really worried. The undergrad actually usually has a lot of students who like wanted to do film, did film in high school. Like the undergrad film program got people who like mostly grew up wanting to do film. And a lot of the grad students are people like, man, they had whole other jobs, careers, some of them in their 40s. And they like, man, I want to tell stories or some shit. And they just apply. And they like, man, I love your story about being a war refugee or some shit. You know what I mean? Like they be looking at that kind of stuff. So it's like, it kind of worked out. You know what I mean? And it took about 3 years for me to go back to school.
Right. So that's that thing with like, I tried grad school. It wasn't for me. Part of it was online, and I was just like, this is not the model for me. Like, but it took me probably like 2 years after graduate, 2 or 3 years after graduating. I was like, let me try this, and I was like, no, that's not for me to school. Straight on that. But you get to USC, you're in film school now. You tried writing before, you know what I'm saying? And like at this point now, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit because now your IMDb page looks like you've been in the industry for years. like in the past 3 or 4 years, your IMDb, you up there at this point. Like right now, as we speak, you're taking a break from filming a movie which you have directed, which you're directing, and you did the screenplay for, and it's starring Jamie Foxx. Also, at the same time, you got other projects in the work. You worked on a screenplay for Space Jam 2 with LeBron James and Bugs Bunny. Like mentally, before this, you co-wrote Creed 2 with Sylvester Stallone. This short time frame of maybe 5-6 years maybe, you went from, USC Film School graduate, which USC Film School is, kind of world renowned, in terms of the talent and the people that leave from there. If for people who know anything about film, it's like USC, like you said, NYU, that's where the big, the heavy hitters came from. They came from these schools. So you got the credential there that backs it up, where it's like, oh, you went to USC Film School, cool. And you worked on a lot of small projects. You started out doing sound, really working your way up through just like doing, joining projects, through relationships and networking and stuff like that. And then in this short time frame, you and it's like, so I think the first question is that really what it takes for people? Like, do you just need that big break? Because I know with Creed, it was based off of a relationship with Stephen Caple. That y'all knew each other, y'all had a personal relationship. So he wanted you, he requested you. And that, that shows a powerful relationship. But it's like, is that what it takes to like take off. Like it's just like it really is who you know. But I mean, obviously your talent and you know your work ethic and all that stuff banks it up. Like he wouldn't have wanted you if he was, you know, if he was a bum. But it was like I'm pretty sure he knows, you know, at least 4 or 5 other people who you know are capable of it, possibly. And it's like it was you that he picked, and he like, I want you to do it. And this is a movie that you know we talking about. This ain't some new feature film. This is a sequel to something that's like a sequel to another sequel that's like this, you know, this franchise. You know what I'm saying? Rocky is one of them. You get it in a box set, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Like they sell it in a box set. Sylvester Stallone signed. It's probably worth $100,000 as a signed box set. The man got a statue outside in Philly, and he was never a real boxer. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this is a monumental film with you know one of the biggest actors. You know, Michael B. Jordan was you know booming in, and like that was just you know coming up. And it's like they picked you, and your name is listed next to Sylvester Stallone. That's like your first big project. What did you know? Like what does that do? Like how does that do? How do you mentally handle that? Especially you know something when you tell your piece of you know you really didn't know that you wanted to do film. You do film. You finagle to get the film degree. Then you like all right, what we gonna do with this? You get into film school, and once you get out of film school, now you working with Sylvester Stallone. After you put in the work, doing sound editing, you know, and all you know doing kind of the you know the behind the scenes job. Like how do you mentally like wrap your mind around that?
Man, that shit wild. That shit wild as fuck. I mean, it's anything. You know what I'm saying? I definitely like I write with another dude I went to USC with. You know what I'm saying? I write with my boy Tony. You know, so like the actual like job is like very like it's just like the day-to-day never really changed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you know me and my boy Tony was like as soon as we graduated from USC, we had started writing at USC, and then as soon as we graduated, we didn't really have nothing to do. So it was like, all right, man, we're gonna apply to all these programs, you know. We applied to Sundance and, you know, fucking Film Independent and everything in between. And for every application, we did a new script, you know. And so, you know, we had got so used to writing that by that point, by the time I graduated USC, you know, when I graduated, I kind of knew like, okay, writing is going to be the fastest thing. If anything happens, it's going to be writing, you know. And so like, by the time the Creed came around, like, you know, I was so used to like just sitting in a room writing, you know what I mean? That it was like, and you know, because it was, you know, a classmate, you know, he wasn't in my class, he was graduating. We the same age, you know, he went right out to college.
Right.
You know, and so he was leaving when I got to USC, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, his last basically semester was like my first semester. I didn't really know Steve in a school setting. I knew him like in a social setting. There's only so many black folks at USC. Right. So I knew him socially, but I never had no classes with him. You know, so with, you know, by the time I had like was on my way out of USC and like kind of connected with him, you know, so I had been so used to writing and did so many scripts that's how I even started rocking with him on a work tip in the first place. Cause it's like, oh, here's 6 scripts. You know what I'm saying? Like by the time he was like, here's 6 scripts, you know, I just gave him a bunch of shit. I actually didn't even think he read them, funny enough. So it's like I had seen him off a film festival, like reconnected with him, and it'd been a little bit because he was making his first movie. So I hadn't seen him in a while, like at least a year and some change. Yeah, like he had just did Sundance, you know what I'm saying? And we had sitting down, like went to Starbucks one day and was just chopping up. I hadn't seen him in like at least a year or some change. And he had went off and made this movie, The Land. But by the time I had seen him at Sundance, I had like a, you know, stack of scripts. And he was, you know, just, you know, people ask you to send him shit all the time.
Right.
He's like, bro, I'm reading all kinds. I'm going to read everything. All right. We got some. All right, now. I just sit to him. And I didn't talk to him for like another 6 months. You know what I mean? Like a long time. That was like
right.
And the next time he called me, he was like, y'all put your name in the hat for Creed. I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, I didn't even know he read the scripts. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me put your Creed. I damn sure didn't think I was going to get the job because, you know, it's like, I was completely a rando, you know what I'm saying? I had done this fellowship with Universal, which helped, you know what I'm saying? So I knew a couple of people, but, you know, by the time the Creed thing started, you know, we got into like, you know, working on it, you know, like it wasn't that different, you know what I'm saying, than everything else. Cause like in terms of the process, it was like, it was shit, you know. At this point, we had been for at least 2 years, you know what I'm saying, just been doing 5 beats a day for 3 summers kind of shit, you know what I'm saying? Like we'd all
right.
the 5 beats a day shit. So it's like it was pretty easy to get acclimated to like the working, you know what I'm saying, in terms of just like writing and like, you know, the process with Sylvester was like, you know, we did the draft, sent it to Sylvester, you know what I'm saying? He does a pass, sends it back. So, you know, if you look, you know, there's 2 ways there's 2 ways you see credits, you know, say you see A-N-D or you see an ampersand. You know, A-N-D mean like I did a draft, you did a draft. I did a draft, you did a draft. Ampersand mean we did it as a team. So, you know, like A&D would be like a writer wrote it in 2010, and then in 2012, a writer did a draft, and they both got credited, you know, in arbitration. You know, if you see and you know, you collaborated with that person, you know what I'm saying, you know, like specifically, you know. And so like, you know, basically we would bounce it back and forth. Like Sly would do his draft on it and send it back, and Steven would have his notes and stuff. And so it, you know, the process was pretty chill, you know what I mean, in terms of the Creed. And it's like, you know, the trippy shit is like afterwards, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, once they're shooting it, now you're like on set,
you see your word, you see people saying your words and stuff.
That's the trippy part, you know what I'm saying? Like when you see like Sly saying some shit, you know, you see Mike saying something, you're like, this shit crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you know, like I went on set, I was trying to sell this other project, so I was trying to do this, you know, I was trying to sell Tyrone, funny enough. And so, like, you know, we were pitching Tyrone at the time, you know, shooting Creed 2, you know. And so I wasn't like on set the whole time because I had like pictures and I was trying to pitch this TV show and I'm trying to pitch Tyrone. And so probably spent about maybe 2.5, 3 weeks total on set, like in film. And so it was like, it was pretty surreal, you know what I'm saying? Just being on the set and like seeing like a big movie, you know, where I've been on sets before, but like as a PA, you know what I'm saying? On terms of like a big movie. I'm down the street, like asking people can you cross the street, sir? You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, ma'am, can you not walk this way? Like last time I was on a, you know, $50 million set, I'm like the last person on the totem pole down the street, you know. Like if you look on IMDb and you see like date night, it's like I didn't really work on date night. I was a PA. Yeah. Like,
you were there.
I was there. I didn't work on date night. Like that's a misnomer. You know what I'm saying? Like I was there for a small fraction of it because like I wasn't even there the whole shoot, you know. But like, you know, this time around, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's completely tripped out because, you know, they asking you to, hey, you got any alts? Oh shit, I'm trying to write up a line really quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like hey, what should I say? Oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a weird experience. You're like in the middle of a scene and you try to find an alternate line or something, you know. But I think like, you know, you kind of get used to it. Like, you know, it's trippy, and then like by the end of it, like you get used to it, you know. And then it's like kind of the surrealness kind of wears off a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And then like you get used to anything, I will say.
It becomes work again. Like, all right, I know what I'm doing. It's autopilot.
Yeah, like I mean, at the end of the day, it is work, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta act like you at work and not like, you know what I'm saying?
And you gotta act like you know what you're doing too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
you gotta know what you're doing, or at least do a damn good job with it. Because it's crazy because that job seems like it's not that job that, you know, like you say, USC teach you how to do it, but that's one of the things you can't. I don't think that you can teach somebody to be a writer, really, because it's a lot of creativity, it's a lot of nuance, it's a lot of improv, it's a lot of different things that come into play. Not to say that, like you know, people write crap all the time. Like there's plenty of crap that gets written, a lot of crap that gets produced, released, but like.
I will even say, like, you know, you could teach structure. You know what I'm saying? You can teach someone how to be a writer, but like at the end of the day, like you can't teach voice. That's what you mean. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah. You
know, everybody gonna have their own voice, their own style. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's like, you know, some people's style gonna connect. You know what I'm saying? And like obviously, you know, you kind of metabolize structure, you know what I'm saying? And like, obviously that's when, you know, Aaron Sorkin type people, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, obviously they know structure, but he rich because he got a very specific voice, you know what I'm saying? He got a very, you know, that's why he rich, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's, you know, that's the main thing, you know what I'm saying? But like, a lot of times, man, like what I'll tell you what's interesting, man, like it's you need a, like, you know, somebody got to like your voice to get in the door, but at a certain point, like if you're working on like those studio movies, like there's like there's like guardrails that they put, you know what I mean? Like it depends on the movie.
Right.
Like
right.
You ain't, decisions are made as a writer. It's not like decisions are made above your pay grade. You know what I'm saying? Like you,
right? It's not like they're just gonna be like, "Hey, go do whatever you want to do, and we'll accept it." It's like here's what we want.
Oh yeah,
stick to the script.
Your job is to like put it on the page. A lot of them situations, you know what I'm saying? Like it depends on the movie, of course, but like if it's like, you know, they gave Steve a lot of leeway, but at the same time, it's like, motherfucker, this is a Rocky movie, so it's like, you know what I mean? There's certain
right.
Things, I mean, a funny example, like every Rocky movie is like, you got to visit the steps. So if you watch the Rocky movies, every single one, they go run the steps. Somebody's on Creed 2 is the first one where it wasn't Rocky on the steps. So Drago runs the steps. But it was like, you know, that was like a mandate. It's like, somebody got to run them damn steps. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's a example, but like there's a ton of things that's like prescriptive.
It's just like requirements.
When you get the job on movies like that, and a lot of times there's a checklist of things that you got to include, especially if it's a franchise. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If it's something original, obviously that's different. You know what I'm saying? There may be a whole different, you know, that don't mean they necessarily let you run off and write whatever, but like, you know, franchises, like, you know, there is definitely like, you know,
you got to do callbacks to previous sequel, you know, previous movies and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a village, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, even, you know, in anything, it's like, it might be 10 writers who work on a project. You know what I'm saying? One guy might be credited or two guys might be credited, but might be 10 people who wrote on it, because like arbitration is gonna like sort credit, but like it's an inexact science, you know. Like obviously it's easier if it's like somebody wrote it beginning to end, which happens too, but like a lot of times you watch a movie and you're like, man, quietly it was 30 writers on there, but like it's like a big, long, not ghostwriting. It's not ghostwriting. It's draft arbitration. So what happens is like, you know, for like say Creed 2, the story by is two writers like Sasha Penn, Cheo Coker, It was like 4 total. It's like credit on the movie. 2 story by, 2 written by. Everybody wrote a draft. If that makes sense. Everybody, right? You know, before we project, Cheo did a draft. Sasha did a draft. So like, you know, we did a brand new draft. You know what I'm saying? And other movies, it might be 10 years of writers who've done drafts. You know, you know, like a movie, like, you know, new Matrix movies coming out. People have been writing Matrix 4 since Matrix Revolutions. Like they've been, you know what I'm saying? Like there's been writers who've been drafting for the last 15 years. And so when the movie comes out, every single one of those writers is going to be arbitrated. You know what I'm saying? And so like it might be that this writer wrote a movie about Morpheus, you know, and like in 2004. It's still like a Matrix 4 movie. You know, that writer is still in the arbitration list. Now that doesn't mean they wrote, someone might have never read that draft. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't read the other drafts of Creed until arbitration. So like Creed, because Steve wanted to start from scratch. But that doesn't mean that they won't get arbitrated, because there's going to be plot points that are there before I got on the project. You know what I'm saying? Like there are going to be plot points that are going to be arbitrated. Like the reason I was credited is because like we did a new draft from scratch with Steve. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like it was our draft primarily that they ended up shooting, but it had plenty of elements in the other drafts from Cheo and Sasha, because it's a sequel to Rocky IV. So like the villain was already in the other scripts. You know what I mean? Like certain things were not new to our draft. They had been in prior drafts. Like this happens a lot, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like if it's a sequel, especially if it's years between sequels, you know what I'm saying? It's like, say they make Gladiator. They've been trying to make Gladiator sequel forever. There's probably 10 Gladiator. You know what I mean? Like they done probably had hired 10 writers over the years to see if they could crack it. There's going to be overlaps in it because it's a sequel. So it's like a guy who wrote a draft in 2003 might fuck around and get a story credit on somebody who writes it this year, because like similarities in the drafts, and it goes like chronologically. Like, you know what I mean? Like the earlier you write, you know what I'm saying? If you're the first person to introduce it, even if someone writes a totally different draft, you're still going to get credit like in arbitration for it. So it's like there's a, you know, like there's definitely it's interesting to see like how, you know, how the machine works, you know what I'm saying? And obviously the more famous
how long did it take you to get acclimated to this? Because it seems like a new world going from, you know, really kind of behind the scenes PA sound, where it's just like you show up to work, you do your job, and they send you a check. But now it's like you're in this real nitty gritty process, and then once you're done doing what your job is, then you go to things like arbitration. The arbitration is done, and now you on the movie set. And now, even though you're done writing, you're still not actually done writing because now you're on the set. And it's like this process is totally different than just like, hey, come to the set, do this job, set's done, go home. Now it's like you're kind of like, this is, you know, you've created something, and now you're helping like bring this thing to life. And until it's completed, you're still a part of this process. And now that it's completed, your name is like with it forever. It's like everybody gonna know Creed 2, Michael B. Jordan, Sly, Juel. Because I mean, you know, it's like that's what it is. Because like your name's right there. So like when the movie starts, like your shit come up. So it's like, you know, it's the actors, and then who wrote it, or you know, the creators, or you know, whatever. But it's like, how did you know what mentally, or you know, how did you really grasp that this, you went from this one part of the process to now you're like in it, like you in there.
I mean, shit. I mean, it's. I mean, the only way you can. Really...
I guess a better question is like, who or what prepared you once you got in there, or is it just like, you know, is it that thing where it's like, oh, you got an agent, and now you know your agent handles all of that, or you know whoever business manager or somebody handles that, or is it like learning the fire?
nothing prepared. I'm about to say, like, you just get thrown in the grease. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's really no like preparation from going from at the house chilling to like on the set, and it's like, oh, there goes Sly. Like, okay, like I gotta go in this trailer and like run this scene by him real quick, and it's like Sylvester Stallone. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
right.
I didn't meet him until they were like in pre-production. You know what I'm saying? Like,
meanwhile, y'all had been like virtually collabing for months, right?
We were just trading drafts. Like, I never exchanged the email.
Right. So like you wrote something and then just here.
And then he wrote it, and I found out what he wrote when it came back, and then Steve would have his notes, and then MGM had their notes, and like that's how the process. So I didn't meet him until like, so it's like, ain't nothing going. He's like, all right, shit. Roll up in here real quick, you know what I'm saying? And you roll up, oh, shit. The next thing you got the script up, and it's like, okay, this shit weird as fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm up here with he's pitching lines as Rocky, and he's like reading it as Rocky. And you're like, this shit strange as a mud. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't really,
right?
Honestly, like, there's really nothing that like prepare you for it. Like, you just get dropped in the grease. Like, that's basically what happens. They just drop.
That's crazy. It's not like a set 101 class where they're like, hey, if you ever become a director or writer, here's some things you might do. Is just
I'll say this, like, there's a wild difference between writing or directing and like writing and directing in the studio system. It's like a total, like I would argue that, like, honestly, like directing and writing in the studio system is like writing not so well different. Directing in the studio system, like even like TV directing, is like pretty close to like how directing was at USC. But directing this movie is nothing like directing at USC. Like, totally, there's nothing like directing TV or like was directing stuff at USC, like shorts and stuff, because like creativity, honestly, is like 25% of it. Management is like the other 5%. Like, like it's flipped. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, like, honestly, you did a lot of management at USC because usually, like, if you were doing short films and stuff, like, you're probably producing it. You're probably like scrambling, but the scale is so small that
right.
Yeah, I'm going picking up gear from the store. I'm from the camera house. I'm going to pick up like grip gear and electric gear. I'm probably rented a U-Haul. Like, I'm doing it all at USC, and but it's so much smaller that like you're not worried about manageable. You're not worried about creative things slipping through the cracks, because it's like 5 pages, but like it's super easy for things to slip through the cracks on a bigger movie with so many moving pieces, and it's like chaos. Like, it's like barely controlled chaos. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like COVID, so it's like testing protocol, like just wildly different. Like, writing in a studio system is like, honestly, is really taking notes. Like, that's all it is in a studio level. Like, it's not the same. You write by yourself, you do what you want. You know what I'm saying? You write it in like a studio system, you're doing what someone else wants. That's really what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like a craftsman for someone else's idea, generally speaking. You know what I'm saying? If it's like a director attached or something, you know what I'm saying? Like your goal is to service, like on Creed, I'm like, I want to make Steve happy. Like, what you trying to do?
Right.
I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to go this way, I'm going this way. You know what I'm saying? Because like, my job is to make the director give them what they want. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In the studio. If you're lucky, like if you got a cool, great director, your job might be to make the execs happy or the producers happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, like if you're lucky, you have a director who like know exactly like what they want and like got a story they want to tell, and you're like, okay, bet. And like, you got someone who's like the tip of the spear, you know what I'm saying? And you're like,
right.
Morpheus, you know what I'm saying? And if you ain't lucky, you'll get a writing assignment, and then it'll be fucking chaos. You know what I'm saying? And you just have to eat it. You just gotta eat it on the job, even if you don't like it. Even if you know what I mean, it happens to people all the time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So you mentioned it. You mentioned you're directing, and like we said, you're currently directing They Cloned Tyrone, and you mentioned before that you were trying to pitch this at the same time you were doing Creed. So you wrote They Cloned Tyrone, and now you're directing it. It's featuring Jamie Foxx and
I co-wrote it with my writing partner.
Co-wrote, and you're directing now. Y'all are filming literally like you probably filming early today.
Yeah, shot today.
Right. So
it's tricky.
I'm like I'm wrapping my mind around it, man. Because like you living it, but I'm wrapping my mind around it. Because like I said, it's like an explosion where it's like boom, Juel is on. Like Creed. No, like you know where we from, man. We from Tuskegee, Alabama. Like as much as I tell people, like Tuskegee is a black mecca. We know that. Like it's so much history and legacy embedded in Tuskegee. So we were raised around it, but a lot of it is like, you know, old history. It's not a lot of modern day people that came from where we from where we can like be like, oh, they own. You know what I'm saying? Granted, we were raised around a lot of doctors, lawyers, things like that. When we talking about like in the entertainment space, celebrity type space, we don't know that many people. And honestly, you're in that place now, and it happened. It seemed from the outside looking in, it seems like it happened real quick. Like, okay, you wrote with Creed, you wrote on Creed, cool, good break, and then like follow it up, and it's like boom, now you like bam, bam, bam. It's like big shit's here now. So
not yet. It don't feel like it.
Big shit's here. Okay, so that's the part. Is like it doesn't feel like it. So I guess like now, are you just in this comfort? Like, okay, so this is the real question: do you prefer writing or directing? Because I know you said directing is a lot of management. You're doing a big film right now. Because I already know if somebody's in your film that has won an Oscar, that shit's already at a whole nother level. I don't care who is releasing or whatever. It's a whole nother level. So you got that. And you're filming it and you're also filming it during COVID. Like you said, it's a lot more moving pieces, a lot more protocol that has been added on that's not typically there. So there's a lot of management. Whereas
you know, you gotta get tested fucking daily. Like it's a lot, bro. But
so what do you prefer?
So there's two ways to look at it, because like people ask me that, and it's like in a vacuum, directing is more fun. From a lifestyle point of view, it's like it's hard to describe because it's like it kind of tie. It depend on what like lens you look at it from. Like if you say like which is more fun to do, directing is more fun for sure. Like being on set, but like being on set is like a small portion of it. You know what I'm saying? Like we for 50 days, yes, but we got a 54-day shoot, which is a pretty fucking long shoot. But it's also because it's COVID, so it's like it's so much like it's just a lot of shit going on with the COVID. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sequester, like, and so it's like they stretch the schedule out to accommodate for like people getting COVID. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just like shit be going on, and so it seemed like a long time, but then like you know we had 15 weeks of prep. You know what I'm saying? We had more than that technically. We were location scouting last March to shoot in the summer, but then COVID broke out, you know. And so it's like, you know, when you on set, that's fun, but then like directing is also like all the meetings that I got to go to, like all the logistics meetings, like, you know, like you're doing all this like mental math and logistics work beforehand. You know what I'm saying? So for the day of shoot, might have had every day of shooting that, every day on set, you might have had it. You know what I'm saying? Like several days of, you know, just sitting in meetings, Zoom meetings, talking to the department heads, talking to the transportation, where we parking the trucks, where the lights go. Like, you know what I mean? Like you sitting through, and I know that are necessarily being asked of me specifically all the time.
Right.
But like 75% of them are being asked of you. You know what I'm saying? Like your department head. What color is it? You know what I mean? Dumb shit. What color should the jacket be? Like, you know what I mean? Like it could be anything.
Right.
But like that's like more of the directing than when you get there. When you get there, you done already made most of the decisions. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Time you on set, like you done picked everything. You know, you done picked the car, the street you shooting on, the angles. You know what I'm saying? So really,
right.
all you doing is working with the actors, which is fun because you done already do meetings and did your homework and been in class. It's like being in school sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to.
The prep work ain't fun. The actual work is fun.
Yes, right. But like the prep work is. So it's like it's a kind of a you're gonna spend more time in prep than shooting usually. You know what I'm saying? And so
that's that shit with like math where it's like you know the answer to the question, but then you read that instruction and like show your work and you're like, I don't want to show my work. I just want to put the answer on the paper.
but you can't skip straight to that. That's the crazy thing, you know.
Exactly, you can't.
But and it's like, you know, there's just so much. There's so many logistics to it, you know, which is like there's so many things outside your control at a certain point. What your budget is, like, you know, you could want something, but if they ain't paying for it, then you ain't getting it. You know,
right?
So, you know, I want 30 cars. They're like, well, we got 5. So, you know, can you make it work with 5? Sure. Like, you got a lot of Sophie's choices. You know what I'm saying? Of like, you know, you can have this or this, but you can't have them both. Like both are ideal. You're like, well, you ain't getting both, so choose one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, would you rather spend more, trick this out, or you want to spend more money on effects later, or like, you know, or you spend money like what that's coming out your music budget, like, you know what I'm saying? So you in post and you can't buy no music because you ain't got no more money because you spent it on something while you were shooting. You don't really know the alchemy of the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when they say it's like a miracle that movies get made, let alone be good. Like you like, damn, you see a great movie? Like how the hell they do that? Like, cause it's a feat of organization just as much as it is creatively, you know what I'm saying? To make sure, you know, like you could, all kind of shit. You could want to shoot a scene in like, you know, the fucking car, like, you know, we had like, shooting a scene and like 2 cars broke down during the scene. It's like, well, we just ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you just do something else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because we gotta be somewhere else tomorrow. We can't come back here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's
wow,
like,
that's crazy.
The directing
and then the other part is you shoot that, all of that, you fix it, and then that scene might not even get in the movie.
Might not be in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, you know. But like with the writing, you know, writing itself is like kind of, you know, if it's something fun, writing it's kind of fun. But like writing is like craft. You know what I'm saying? It's like craft. You know what I mean? Like it's
straightforward.
It's not like
it's like you know what you're gonna write. You know, like you got your guidelines, and you know you got your you know what you're gonna write. You're gonna write it, but like directing is like all of these other things encompassed into this one role. Where it's like your logistics, your creative director, you gotta lend your services to lighting, wardrobe, because you're in charge, and it's like a bunch of different things coming into one where you got to be kind of like the drum major for it all.
Basically, you know what I mean? But like with writing, the thing that's good about writing though is like the actual process of directing is more fun than writing. Like when you're on the set directing, it's more fun than writing. But writing is more fun than directing in a macro sense. Like in other words, like writing is like Tony comes to the crib, we chill in the living room, we watch YouTube or movies or like play video games. We might be in my house for 12 hours every day. We might write for 4 of those 12 hours, but we do it every day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But usually everybody just at the house You know what I'm saying? We just chilling or like ordering food, or like watch, like you can't really, like, unless you're like Stephen King, and even Stephen King only writes like, he wakes up in the morning and writes from like 9 to 2. You know what I mean? Like it's only rarely can you really write for more than a couple hours at a time before you got to stop. Like it's the consistency that like makes you like have a lot of output. You know what I'm saying? Cause like, motherfucker can't sit in front of a computer for 5 hours straight unless you like, it's the night before kind of shit. We've had to do it.
Right.
You know
Cram it.
But like, you know what I'm saying? Like usually you like, you write for an hour, you bullshit for 3 hours. You write for 2 hours, you bullshit for 2 hours. And so like, you can wake up, you know, like I'm a night owl, so, you know, I'll wake up at noon, chill, start writing around 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we do it every day. So it's like the lifestyle is very mellow. You know what I'm saying? Stay up till 4 in the morning, wake up at noon, go get lunch, eat some ramen, come back. All right, we should probably start writing. Write at like 2:30, 3, right till like 6. All right, now I feel like, shit, you hungry? Shit, let's see. You know what I'm saying? Go get something to eat.
Right.
Fuck around, watch YouTube. All right, man, we should probably start writing. All right. You know what I'm saying? Right to about 10, 11. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, we wrote 6, 7 pages a day. All right, yeah, do it again tomorrow. You know, you might write 1 page in a day because it's something really like you got a plot hole you're trying to figure out. Might write 15 pages in a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, just doing it over and over. So like that, but that writing process is fun in a sense of like, it's so much more relaxing and like
it feeds your creative thirst in a sense, where it's like you're in the act of being creative.
Yeah, you just
like you're actively writing.
Like writing is usually like, you know, it's much more chill. You know, whereas like directing is like they like polar opposite things. Like directing ain't chill at all. You know what I'm saying? But it's fun. It ain't chill.
It's action.
You know what I'm saying? It's hectic. It's like chaotic as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it might be 100 motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, just running around on a certain day. You know what I'm saying? If it's like some big stunt or some big thing, you might have 100 extras and 50 people in the room or more. Like, and it's just chaos. And then like you have nonstop stress because like every single day you got to make the day. Like you got to finish the work that's prescribed for the day, or else you're gonna get your budget gonna blow up, and then you're gonna be in trouble, and then they won't let you direct no more. And all you can think is like, I got to put this shit in the can. We can't come back. You know what I'm saying?
Or else this is the last time y'all hear from Juel Taylor.
Be it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got a albatross on your head when you direct it. Like there's always and you feel like the stress, and like but when you write it, it's not like that at all. There's no stress. Like drinking fucking tea and like eating fucking fruit snacks, chilling. And you're like, yeah, we got a month to do this, and like, you know, we could fucking do a draft in a month easy. You know what I mean? Like you have 12 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So you have 3 months on a WGA pay scale, like on a draft.
Mm-hmm.
You can write a draft in 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's you write it every single day, and we basically work Sunday to Sunday. Yeah, pretty much. And so it's like, we went like a year. We probably wrote 340 days out the fucking year. You know what I'm saying? At a certain point, around that Creed time, we was like banging on the scripts. You know what I mean? But like, if you do that, imagine we writing like every fucking day of the week. And we're probably writing, I would average, you'd say at least, you could say 2-3 conservatively pages in a day. You write a lot of script, 120 pages, you know what I mean? You know,
something like Creed 2, you said the whole script like was like what, 100, you said 120 pages for like Creed 2?
First draft was like 110, something like that. By the time of shooting drafts, probably like collated pages, like once they lock the script, you know, everything stays on the same page, so they get these like kind of weird half pages that add up. I'd say the collated version is probably like 130 pages. Because like at a certain point, it's like, you know, once you turn in your draft and it's like, okay, Mike B got notes. Tessa Thompson got notes. MGM got notes. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got notes. Everybody got things they want in the script. And it don't cost me nothing to throw it in the script because, like, that's the thing. As a writer, you don't care, but a director, you care. As a writer, you're like, sure, that scene in the script. You add this scene. Somebody want this. Oh, I feel like I need a moment like this. I got you. Like, they're all your boss as a writer. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're all your boss.
Right.
And so, like, if people have notes, like, you know what I'm saying? As long as Steve is cool with it, I'll write it in there for you. You know what I'm saying? But on the directing, like, man, all you thinking about is like Creed, you know, like there's so much shit got cut out of Creed 2 and every movie, you know what I'm saying? Like usually the first like 4 hours long. Movie might be 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? So you can imagine how much, I mean, you see that Snyder cut of Justice League got a whole new villain. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a whole new bad guy movie. Where did this
with what's cut out of movies, you can make another movie out of it.
They got a 4-hour miniseries coming of what was cut out of fucking goddamn Justice League. Because like they just keep shooting, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like I mean shit, you literally could make another Justice League out of what they cut out of Justice League. You know what I'm saying? Because it just, you know what I mean? It happens. Like, you know what I mean? Like scenes get cut out. Sometimes they make it to the DVD, sometimes they don't. And so it's like
So like on a project like you're working on now with Who Cloned Tyrone, you co-wrote and directed. So what's that like now? Because you are like, you work for yourself in a sense because you're the writer, you're the director. So when stuff goes in, you know, when people got notes, you're the writer. Sure, I can put it in, but as the director, it's like I don't really want that in there.
Oh yeah,
but as the writer, you like.
Yeah, on this project, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got a lot of flexibility that, you know what I'm saying? Like on the writing tip, like, you know, honestly, Netflix, they didn't really, you know, for better or worse, they didn't really give me no notes for real, you know, like the script would change from conversations with actors and from logistical stuff, you know. Dumb example. There's a scene that takes place in a club once upon a time. And because of COVID and because of like budget, it's like, you know, you can't have that many extras, you know what I'm saying? Like the club, like the way the scene was written. So we rewrote it and turned it to a strip club. Changed the scene a little bit, but like, don't need as many people to fill up a strip club. You can have more chairs. There's a dance floor. I mean, not dance floor, the stage. Like, so, you know, you could cut the, you know, you instead of needing 150 extras or 200 extras to fill up a big club the way it was written, now we need 100 extras. You know what I mean? Now we need half the extras. Like, you know what I mean? And so it's like, and like COVID, like you can only fit so many people in the building at once. And like, it's a whole lot of things like that logistically might make you rewrite the script. You know what I'm saying? Right. Parts of the script. Or you may talk to an actor and they're like, you know what I mean? Like the actor don't like something for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I see what you can do. You know, and so like a lot of times it's, you know, on this movie, it's like logistical things of like what we have available, what we can afford. You know, you write something, you're like, we can't afford it. All right, well, I got to write a different version of it, you know. And, you know, but like from a creative standpoint, because it's like an original idea, it's not based on it. So it's like nobody really gave us any problems, you know, in that regard, because it was like our own shit. So it's like, you know, do whatever we wanted, you know what I mean? But from the time when we pitched it, like, you know, 3 years ago to like now where we actually making it, you know, it's changed a lot in a lot of little small ways over the years. You know what I'm saying? Like from one thing or another, talk to an actor or like like, you know, so you made a bunch of little changes, but like over several years, it, you know, now it's like, you know, a pretty big substantial difference to what it used to be, you know. And then you also see the way the actors play it. Like, you're like, oh, you know, once you kind of start to hear the actors and you see kind of how they do it, then it makes you want to go back and like tweak shit, you know. before when you in a vacuum, you know.
So you got some big name movies on your belt, directing and writing, but you also got some directing credits with television. You got linked up with Lena Waithe, and you directed 2 episodes of 20s and an episode of Boomerang. Great television shows. I actually watched both of them. I was watching it before I knew that you was going to direct one, but obviously when I found out you was directing the episode, I was like, gotta watch the shit. But in terms of TV directing and then movie directing,
totally different.
How totally different. Like out of those two, which would you prefer? Obviously, me personally, I think I would imagine that, I don't know, because I would immediately think that movies would pay more, but I know that Seinfeld was making like $1 million an episode, so I'm like, maybe that TV money might be a little bit more than what the movies are making.
I'm about to say, depend on the show, depend on what it is.
Right. But in terms of just like working and creativity and things, which one would you prefer? TV directing, movie directing?
Totally, movie directing. What? It's not a straight comparison, really, because like you can't compare movie when it's your own thing. So like directing this is like so fun because like it's me and Tony's idea from way back in the day come to life, and you're like, hey, this is your shit. So it's like you truly nobody can tell you what to do because you are the ultimate authority because it's your idea. When you're a TV director, you're like a steward for somebody else's plane. You know what I'm saying? So as a TV director, like, you know, as a movie director, the director is like the end voice, the be all end all. As a TV director, the executive producer is the voice, like the showrunner, the person who created the show. That's their baby. So you are directing in a style. So it's like TV directing is fun as hell because it's actually the decisions, you don't have to make anywhere near as many decisions because like they've been made for you. It's been casted already. Right. I didn't have to pick the cast. I don't have to location scout. I mean, you had to location scout a little bit, but like a lot of times, like unless you direct the pilot, which I did the show, they already have a house that they stay at. Like you ain't got to go find it. Right. They got a house. You know what I'm saying? Like if there's a new location to your script, then you got to scout that. But that might be like 1 or 2 places, and even then, the producers you'll see like 2 or 3 places, and they say just pick one of these. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. Like on a movie, like I'm like driving through the hood looking for houses. Like I'm on my own time, also trying to scout. There's way more places that they show you because like you're building the world. So with TV, it's like we need a grocery store for this scene. Here are 3 options. Which one you like? Oh, I like this. I bet. But the amount of decisions you got to make are way like an order of magnitude less. And so it's fun because like when you directing TV, it's really about working with the actors and shot listing, basically. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you get to do like you don't have to do nearly as many logistical things, nearly as many managerial things, at least on the shows that I directed, which mind you are only 2 and they're both half hours, right? So probably different for someone who directs like bigger shows, right? Like Game of Thrones or like, you know what I'm saying, hour long, like big shows might be different. But you know, for those shows, they were fun as a mug because like really I show up, you know, got a week of prep, shot list with the DP, go do a tech scout, see all the play. You still got to do your meetings and shit, but it's like a week. You know what I'm saying? It's, 5 days of prep. You know what I mean? Not even a
way less hectic than movie.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like you prepping for a week, shooting for a week, editing for a week, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you out. You know what I'm saying? You do an episode of like 3 weeks, front to back.
Right.
Your involvement at least. Now, obviously, someone else been involved for way longer, but like you come in your prep, shoot You know what I'm saying? 4-day shoot, 5-day shoot. What it depends on, you know, the network and shit. You know, Euphoria shoots 20 days, shooting 20 days. You know, so it depends. Like a big ass show might be basically a movie, Game of Thrones, but like fucking 20s. It's like a 4-day shoot, 5-day shoot, something like that. It was not long. You know what I mean? You bam, 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 we out. You know what I'm saying? So all you really got to do is like focus on making the scenes, you know, work. You know what I'm saying? Like they are. You got the script, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're fun. It's fun because you're not precious about it. So like, if it's not your child, you know what I'm saying? So you really trying to like do right by what somebody else wants, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like,
right.
You don't feel as like pissed off if something goes sideways. Like, can't have the red car, got to have the blue car. Not my show, like not my baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. That's someone else is gonna stress about it more than you because you just like, hey, I'm gonna work with what I got. Whatever's here, we rocking with it. You know what I'm saying? Like it was the thing on Boomerang. My episode, it was scripted that there was like a Last Supper poster, and I was like, yo, let's get a black version. Showed up, it was a white version. I was like, oh well, it's a white version. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I told people, hey, let's do this, and this. They did this and this, but they didn't do it with the last this, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know the story behind it. You know what I'm saying? It was like Last Supper picture, so that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't no point of stressing about it because it's just like they got some things to worry about. That it's like as long as you come in and like you got a plan. Like you can if you just aren't so emotionally attached to it, knowing that like it's not yours. Like it's, so somebody wants to do something that you don't want to do, it's theirs.
You got selected for a very specific job where it's like direct. It's like, all right, all I gotta do is direct.
Correct. It's super fun. That ironically, like fun as hell. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you fucking with this? As long as you fucking with this, I'm gonna have fun. I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make sure the trains stay on the tracks and we all good. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like the directing stuff, especially for Lena's just like super chill. So it's just like, you know, she put a bunch of people on too. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, it's her baby. So it's like, know the story, but like you're gonna feel like if you know people seem to like 20s and Boomerang, which is good. You know, people didn't. Then like it, even if they didn't, I wouldn't have been stressing directing it because I'm like I'm a tool for someone else's story. So if someone's like I don't like that show, I'm like, well, you know, like I'm not gonna take. I'm directing it. You know what I'm saying? Which is partially my fault, but at the same time, like. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of it that I have nothing to do with it.
I mean, the subject matter, like some people don't like so for various reasons, but like, you know, director, I want to make sure the person who hired me is happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so like, fortunately, people seem to respond to Boomerang and they seem to respond to 20s. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, that's great. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, people fuck with it. Like, cool. Like, that's you know what I'm saying? Like, Lena's a monster. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless, even if they didn't fuck with the show, like, it's like when you're making it, you don't feel precious about it because you're like, I'm an employee. You feel like I'm an employee. But when it's your shit, I don't feel like an employee on this movie. So it's like, it's much more stressful because, like, something goes sideways, I'm trying to fix it. Like, it's like my responsibility to fix it. And so the blue car, why is this car fucking blue? Where's that red car? I'm on somebody's show and the car comes and I'm like, this ain't the color the car's supposed to be. But I don't, you know, I don't have no control over that. So I'm going to do what I control. Like on a movie, you're like, where the fuck is that red car? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck happened? You know what I mean? Like, you going to be tripping the fuck out over something that you wouldn't necessarily trip out on as a TV director. You know what I'm saying? So
in terms of directing style, what do you think, and I don't know if people have come back to you, because this is your directorial debut, correct? in terms of like major motion film. You directed TV, obviously. You've done some small shorts and stuff in college, throughout college. But in the short resume of directing that you've done, what do you think your directing style is? Do you feel like you're that over the top director? I don't imagine you to be that, because I know you. So I'm like, you've always been a chill dude. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, do you see yourself being that director where it's like, I asked for black coffee, no sugar, 3 creams. Where's the blue car? Where's the red car?
Nah. I'm actually mellow as fuck, but like I just internalize angst. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know, I'm chill as fuck. We play music on the set every day. Like that's like stylistically, I'm like a very easygoing, mellow director. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, I think that like the stress I internalize on this set is much different than the stress I internalize on TV sets. TV sets, I'm like coasting, chilling. Like it's so great. I'm like, man, this is fun as hell. Like, you know what I mean? Even if it's like, even if you got to shoot 8 pages in a day, it's fucking crazy. Still, it's just like, it's a different kind of vibe, you know? But then this shit is like, you're like always like looking over your shoulder at the clock, like, how much time do I have? Okay, fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just always, you know, survival mode of like, you know, we got what we need. You know, you're thinking like about tomorrow. You're thinking about just like things that can go wrong. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of just like stylistically though, nah, I'm chilling the motherfucker on set.
So one
of the things one of my big homies told me, man, they just like, man, you can't, you know, I mean, you can't, you even if you feel like incredible anxiety, like you gotta just act like it's amazing. You know,
right.
Actors in general, you know, specifically, you know what I'm saying? Like, because like actors, they'll worry. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know, if something, you be like, the car in here? Like the fucking producer, where's the car? Where the fuck is the car at? They didn't bring it. What you mean they didn't bring the car? You know what I'm saying? Well, actor come over, how's it going, man? That shit hitting, dog. Hey, we good, man. We gonna be shooting in 20 minutes. You ain't gonna tell the actor the car didn't show up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Camera broke. The crane broke? Like, crane broke. Like, what the fuck going on with the crane? I don't know. They trying to troubleshoot it. I'll stall. Like, you gotta make it seem like the shit working out great. You know what I'm saying?
Like everything is smooth.
And you might have a piece of we had a techno dolly that was just like going crazy one day, man. Like this piece of gear that we had to work because motion control. So you're trying to do this like in fact you need this motion control camera. And that shit was just shaking. It's just like totally like fucked up. And it's like, okay, like we ain't go if we don't fix this, today's fucked. Like, you know, this whole scene is fucked. And it's just like, you just gotta act like it's all good. You just gotta act like it's all good. Hey, ain't nothing to see here. You know
so being in such a pivotal, you know, such a monumental position on film, and obviously having the burden of, you know, everything on your shoulders, how do you handle that stress? Because like you said, you got thrown in the fire from jump, and like the fire keeps getting bigger. In my opinion, the fire keeps getting bigger. It's like, okay, we writing with big names and, you know, big films. Now we directing with big names. Like I just remembered. I forgot to mention John Boyega. You got Jamie Foxx, John Boyega, and I can't think of her name. She was in another film with Jamie Foxx, right?
She in a movie with Jamie? She was in Child.
Was she in the movie with Jamie Foxx, the other Netflix film where they filmed it in New Orleans, where he was like they were taking the pills and making them like superpowers?
I think that's Dominique Fishback.
Oh yeah. Okay, not her.
Judas. She was in Judas most recently.
Yeah. From Judas and the Black Messiah. Yeah.
So she in WandaVision. She our Candyman that's coming out, the next Candyman movie.
Yeah.
She the lead in Candyman. She in WandaVision, and she in the next.
So you're dealing with well known, noticeable people, and you've got obviously you're on a large movie set, big time stress. Like, how do you deal with that shit? Like, the fire keeps getting bigger, and you ain't getting burnt. Like, how you deal with it?
Knock on wood, man. I mean, honestly, like, it's so chaotic. The easiest way to explain it is like you can't even. Honestly, it's so chaotic. Schedule changes. It rains. You got to cover set. You like every day is like some wild shit can, or an actor could just be in a bad mood and like, you know what I'm saying, and that could just fuck up the day, like, you know, and like you have a supporting actor or something just come in and just wilding the fuck out, like anything could be happening like on any given day. I think the easiest way to describe it is like it's too much going on to even think about it. Like,
right, gotcha. You ain't even got time to really think about what the hell just went wrong because something else is finna go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're just trying to make sure it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, when you're on set, like, you want to fucking you want to fast forward 12 hours, just go to a movie set. Like, nothing will make time pass faster than like, I got to shoot these 5 things, 10 shots or whatever it is by, you know, sundown. You know, you might get to 6 in the morning, 12-hour day, and you fighting the sun. That sun is going to be here in 3 hours. You'd be like, God damn, we just got it 3 hours ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, the day will like fucking melt the fuck away, like disappear. You know what I'm saying? And you like, so by the time you look up, you're like, oh shit, it's lunch already. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, 6 hours a day, you break for lunch, and it's like, what the fuck going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, tell me it's 7 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. What the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it happens every day. You look up and like 4 hours have passed. You're like, I just got here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Not enough fucking time. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, you know, I think like that helps you not even. I mean, you can't. I don't know. It's like you can't even focus on it being overwhelming or not, because it's just like there's
still going.
A million little tasks, you know what I'm saying, happening back to back to back. You know what I'm saying? And it's like usually like, you know, you get it set up, the DP, they start setting a shot and you got a little moment to chill. And in that little moment to chill, you know what I'm saying? It's like you chilling. Like, you know what I mean? It's like when you have a break, you have like, you know, say like DP, like, man, it's gonna take 45 minutes for, you know, to get this shot ready. Man, like you if you don't have somebody asking you something, or like, you know, something you're trying to work out, you know, some producer asking about something for tomorrow, or like, you know, stunt coordinator trying to show you stunt vids for some stunt that's coming up, or like, man, you so chilling, like, you know, we keep the music playing, like it's like all of your spare time on set is like used for decompressing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I use my spare time.
And that's something you implemented, right? Because everybody don't do that. Like you make a conscious decision to make sure that, you know, that kind of atmosphere, you're curating that kind of atmosphere, right?
Like, no, I haven't been. There are very few sets that like keep the music playing like I do. You know, that's pretty rare. But we like, I gotta have it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta have fucking music playing. Like, if we not shooting, if we not rolling, or we not, sometimes there'll be an actor, like, I ain't gonna say no names, but like a supporting actor who like hates to hear the music in the background because it just like fucks his process. So like, yeah. When he's on set rehearsing, they'll stop the music. But like, you know, everybody else is like, nah, we keep the music. Like it's just very relaxed and mellow for like most people. You know what I'm saying? And like when I'm not in the mood trying to else something out, it's like, all right, I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm here on the weekend, you know, I try to like play video games. I try, you know what I'm saying? Like if it's a, you know, like we shoot sometimes on, like we shot today, Saturday, you know what I'm saying? I only got one day off, but like we got 5 days left in the movie. We wrap Friday. And so it's like, you know, it kind of can't, you know, and we had a lot of night shoots, which was rough, but like that was rough shit. But like, you know, usually like, you know, if I got like a day off, I'm gonna chill at the house and just like lounge, you know what I'm saying? Like try to not think about it, you know what I'm saying? Cause like otherwise it's like all consuming, you know what I'm saying? It could be. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
And this situation is a little bit different too, because, you know, you're not at actual, it's weird because you kind of at home, but you're not at home because like you from near Atlanta, but you live in Cali. So it's like you're not at actual home. And so is that like fucking with you?
I mean, like, man, I love being back, you know, in the South. So it's like, I feel very at home. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, especially this last about week or so when the weather done started getting warm again and shit.
Right.
You know, it like, and like Georgia's so opened up, like that people just be out and about. You know what I'm saying?
Atlanta doesn't have COVID at all, man. If you look at Atlanta, it seems like they don't have COVID at all, man.
Oh man, it's crazy. Like,
wow.
Lockdown. So I mean, you know, it's like. It's fun being back, but it's like it'd be more fun if I could like go out and like go into the world.
Right.
You know, you pretty much don't go nowhere. You know, you fucking Postmate and Uber Eats and
right.
You know, you might go to the grocery store, but that's it, really. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Or maybe you like pick up some food and drive through or something. But like. I'm kind of in a bubble, like an NBA bubble, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like, you know, with, you know, being here, it's like, it feels like I'm at home here too, you know what I mean? Like I feel at home in both places. I've been in LA so long that it feels like, obviously it's very like homey now because I have an infrastructure in LA too, but like a bunch of people, like, you know, a bunch of people still live down south, you know what I'm saying? So it's like
right.
Family, you know, see my mama and Kristen and, you know, and shit, all, you know, a bunch of people. So it's like, oh shit, you know, feels very like comfortable, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's just you get like I said, you get used to even like chaos. Used to chaos, you know, and like you get used to like, okay, like roll out of bed, go to set, get grinded dust, come back 12 hours later, 13 hours later, relax for like an hour, try to lay down, wake up the next day, do the shit again, 50 days in a row. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a fucking marathon. Like it's like athletic, you know what I'm saying, in terms of just.
And then after that, you got post-production. And then after post-production, you got the premiere. And then you kind of back at work because you the director. You ain't the behind-the-scenes person. You directing. So, like, you got to do a little press run, premieres.
Mind you got to follow up about that because, you know, I'm only in the beginnings of, like, press, of, like, having to, like, deal with press-related kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I be trying to fuck off the press shit, you know what I'm saying? And like Netflix is already
it's coming.
I know it's already here quietly. Like it's, you know, we got the EPK on set, you know what I'm saying? And like the, you know, Netflix is trying to get me to answer do these little featurettes and I like avoiding it and like not doing it. Like,
gotta get the director's cut.
They want the commentary, man. They want the fucking interview. Like, and it's just like, you know, it's funny because I try to avoid interview situations at all costs. Obviously, this is an exception. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't an interview. This is a dog, like from.
Oh, it's not. No, this is just look. I know you, nigga. We just having a conversation. We catching up basically. It's like you know what I'm saying. I ain't talked to you in forever for real, except for a little tidbits here and there. So this is just catching up. This is me picking your brain. Like, yo, what do you do?
Nah, it's coming though, man. But like that whole side of it, man, is like I'm very like I do not want that to come. You know.
I mean, yeah, I mean, like you don't have social media for real, and you know what I'm saying. So like, what are you gonna do? But you know what I'm saying, when that piece comes, like it's gonna be like, hey, you can't find me. They're gonna be like, where can we follow you? And be like, nowhere. Hey, you've always been, like I said, you've always been multi-talented, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying, from literally pre-K kindergarten, you know what I'm saying, you've always been creative, dog. And you know what I'm saying, you're one of the people who, you know, we ain't normal, for lack of a better term. Like, we ain't normal. We do what we want to do. And I'm proud to say that I know you, and I'm proud that you like, you still you, dog. Like, no bullshit. You still you. Like, nothing about you has changed at all. Your hair longer, you older, you know a bunch of famous people, but other than that, you ain't changed, dog. Like, you still Juel. Like,
but it's funny,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
you know me for a long time. If you call me Juel, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
OGs of OGs call me Juel. That
was crazy. I told Megan, because she the first time she called me and put you on the phone, you was like, is this Arthur Woodson? And I was like, this got to be who knows me before like 1995, because like nobody calls me Arthur, dog. Like, I'm like, if you met me high school on, everybody called me AJ. So when you was like Arthur Woodson, I was like, this is a from the past fan. It's like, this guy knows me, dog. Like,
it's like age, like the same way Juel probably sound foreign. It's like hey,
it's like, hold on, who is that? Who is that? Somebody knows me for real in this.
This is Arthur and Juel having a conversation.
Right, exactly. This is Arthur and Juel having a conversation.
Like,
but man,
Arthur, you knew that you ain't been around long enough.
Man, dog, like, I'm proud of you, dog, man. This shit is amazing, dog. Every time, whenever something got your name attached to it, I'm supporting it just because I got to, dog. I don't have no choice, dog. Like, it's like I said, you know, coming from where we come from, the last ones who was like about something from where we was from was like, you know, you got the Commodores, you got Tom Joyner, you had Frank play football for some years, but other than that, like, ain't nobody big time came out of Tuskegee like that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody big time coming out of Tuskegee, and now we got Juel Taylor to add to the list, man. It's like, you like, whether you want to accept it or not, you could be humble as you want to be, but my nigga, like, you own, bro. Like, it's a beautiful thing to see, dog. It's a beautiful thing. It's like, you right now, this could be the last project you do. You could be like, you know what, I'll retire. And you're gonna be like, you did Creed 2, and he directed the whole film and co-wrote it with Jamie Foxx, John Boyega. Like, and you can just go sit down and everybody be like, like you could, like, real talk, hey, you could real talk, like, just come back home, automatically become the grand marshal for the homecoming parade, and just gonna live around the lake and be like, yeah. You know, just like you could accept that portion of life where you're like, you know what? I'm done. I'm like, there's nothing else to do. So it brings me to the last question. Your trajectory in this, your path, your journey to this point, and you know, seemingly is unconventional. Like, you was in school, you was a general arts major, played around with it a little bit, and was like, all right, got the film degree, came home. Like, your whole, like, everything that you've explained to this point, it was like, you were prepared, but you were also at the right place at the right time. You also had the right connections, networks, relationships in place, which played a huge part of it. And it's like, okay, so whether any of this was part of your goal or not, what's your goal now? Because if those were your goals, you've accomplished it. Like I did film. You've done film to the fullest at this point. Like from what I know about film, you've done film from the back end to the front end. Like you started in the back. You was a PA. You did some sound work. Then you wrote, and then now you directed. You directed TV and movie. And it's like, what you gonna do? What's next? You just keep doing it? Like like what do you do? Because like you could have been directing low budget films for the rest of your life, and then you get your one big movie, and then you're like, all right, I'm killing it. Like you come out the gate like, bam, blockbusters, catch it. Like, all right, so what you do? So what do you do now? What do you do? What does Juel Taylor do next? Where it's like, all right, I don't know what's the next step up of this, because it's like TV, movie, and it's like, what do you do? Documentaries or autobiography movies of famous people. What do you do?
So I mean, I always feel like I wanna steal like J.J. Abrams, Donald Glover kind of career. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanna do that multi-hyphenate shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like. Honestly, like, man, I'm trying to like get into like producing more. You know what I'm saying? Like, we sold that TV show. You know what I'm saying? We sold that TV show, and like, we just put our classmates. Not like they didn't let us put all as many people we wanted to on, but we put like several of our classmates on as writers in the writers' room. You know what I'm saying? When the season, when we shoot the season, we're gonna put some more of our USC classmates on as directors. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, like to me, that's like the real boss shit is like when you can be like, when they got to ask nobody for nothing, I can just be like, all right, I'm gonna do the shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm like, all right, like motherfuckers that like, there's people that's like fucking amazingly fucking just raw at the shit, you know what I'm saying? I went to school with that's like an incredible motherfucker, you know what I mean? Like they just ain't had an opportunity, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and a couple of them, able to give a couple of our classmates, like they in the WGA now, they in the guild now, because we like staffed them on our show, you know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. It's like we staffed somebody on our TV show, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like, Nina hooked me up, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so I want to like, put his own, I want to be in a position to put his own in terms of like, put myself on, put other niggas on, like in terms of just like getting to that J.J. Abrams point where it's like, you can, these people that I went to school with who was like super raw, you know what I'm saying? But like, they didn't, for whatever reason, they didn't get the opportunity, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, that's the hard shit to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, even with the soundtrack of the movie, you know what I'm saying? Like, my boy, like, got him placed, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Got him a place soundtrack. So it's like, the more, like, control you get, you know what I'm saying? The more you kind of, like, make those kind of personnel decisions, you know what I'm saying? And start to like fucking be able to make more shit than like you could make if you was just writing and directing it all. It's like that's like the thing. Like JJ pop in, direct the movie if you want. You can also like if he had an idea but he didn't feel like writing it, you can hire a writer, go hire a director and like make that idea a reality while he works on two other things. You know what I'm saying? It's like
right.
You really want to get to the point where like I can pick and choose what I want to do and I can dish off ideas or like, you know what I'm saying, find writers, hire people, you know what I'm saying, and like be able to kind of still make extra additional shit, you know what I'm saying, like lightweight kind of, bad robot kind of shit, you know what I'm saying.
Right.
That would be the tight shit is to like, kind of get in that kind of bad robot kind of situation. It's like, okay, like you went to school with me. I know what you capable of. oh, I got this fucking script idea. We got this overall deal with Universal. You know what I'm saying? So they, you know, like you get an overall deal, man. They might give you a, you know, they'll, you know, if you sign, you know, you get an overall deal with some studio, man. They'll give you development funds. They might give you, you know, depending on who you are, it might give you $500,000, $1 million a year development fund, and you can take that and just spend it on hiring writers or acquiring material. You know what I'm saying? I go out and get the rights to a place and then pay a motherfucker $50,000 to do a draft. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like it's, but like it's first you gotta like make something that people fuck with. You know what I mean? Like you gotta do the first part first. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
right.
That's what I want to do. But like all right now, all I want for this movie to turn out all right. So you can have some breathing room in this bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Movie turn out all right. It'll be all right.
This one got the hit. After this, it's a production company coming.
Not right away. I feel like it's be making production company. Like, who? You got a company? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I know some niggas that I be raising my eyebrows. Like, you got a production company, dog? You know what I'm saying? Like actors and like, you be like, man, you was in one movie. How you got a company? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, real man, like go for it. You know what I'm saying? But
that's like the equivalent of them LLCs. Like, hey, get in the movie, start an LLC. Get in the movie, start a production company. Get it. Gotta do it.
I ain't got no production. I feel like I gotta have some hits or something. I ain't never.
You gotta get somebody in your belt.
You'll never see me with a production company. I know some that like, I'm like, man, it was a supporting character and. How the fuck you go? I'm like, how did he, what? Who making your movies? Like, I ain't trying to be that person. Like, I did one thing and now I'm like, here's my company. You know what I'm saying?
I'm an expert on it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like Barry Jenkins, you won an Oscar. You better start a company. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Pastel, like, you know, he killing the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but like. I ain't trying. I feel like it's presumptuous of me to like try to like, you know, that's a little further. You know what I'm saying? I gotta like,
further down the line.
I gotta at least have some success first before I try to do some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have some success. Like I've gotten jobs, but I ain't had success. That's a difference. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say I'm on. I say I'm working, but like
I like that.
I'm gonna say I'm on. You know what I'm saying? Like
I like that.
You own. I
like that.
You had success. You know what I'm saying? So like that gotta come first. You know what I'm saying? And then so now like right now I just gotta make this shit good. Hopefully this shit turn out straight. You know, that shit turn out straight and you try to parlay some more shit. You know, you make a couple things, they're like, all right, this person is reputable. I'll watch some shit this person makes. And you make a production company and people give a shit about it. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
Chris Nolan makes some heat. You come back with, you know, now all of a sudden he got his own shit. Like, you know, Chris Nolan hit you with Memento, and you know what I'm saying? Hit you with
right.
And now he's like, okay, Batman Begins. All right, now let me hit y'all with my production company, because you know we know Chris Nolan, if it's got his stamp on it, I'm going to see it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you want to have it, you know, I want to wait till like, you know, somebody actually would give a damn before I try to like start branching out for real and doing shit. But like, that's the goal though. You know, that's what you're trying.
Well, my nigga,
where people get.
I'm going to tell you right now, you own. You got shit under your belt. The only thing right now is you got things that's still in works right now. Like you got 3 things in production right now, 3 or 4. So once those are done, and then everything gets validated, because it will. You got it in there. You own. Listen, we from Tuskegee, dog. You own. You own. Look, you can be humble as you want to. I appreciate it. I love it, dog. Look, got to be humble. You won't. You roll up on an OG or old school, you were like, you doing what? Shoot movies with Jamie. Oh, you own. You own them. By hometown standards, you own. By big city standards, you still working. You're working on your success. You coming up. Alabama, Tuskegee, Alabama standards, you own. You was on. You was on a minute ago. Like your name, you on the front page of the newspaper because it's like hometown hero. I told you, you come home right now. You in the parade. And you come home right now. They build you a whole float. They naming the street after you. All that shit.
I'm on the Zoom with Mr. Tuskegee, man. You the ambassador, man. I see the little flight 87.
Hey,
I know what they.
Huh? Look, man, I'm just a humble servant trying to make sure that I expose people like you to the world, man. Hey, 87, that's the year. That's the year everything was made. Y'all see it.
Same 87, man. If anybody,
I got you some stuff coming too. I'm gonna send Meg some stuff too. I'm gonna send y'all a little package, man. You know what I'm saying? So you can you know what I'm saying, you can flex with people. I can, you know what I'm saying, you ain't on no social media, so I ain't like I can use it for clout. I can be like, yo, international movie director Juel Taylor's rocking my shit. But I do need that goddamn fried chicken shirt. I ain't bullshitting you.
Sitting overnight, man, I wear that bitch on set and somebody take a picture of it.
I got you. But look, man, you know what I'm saying, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man, for taking the time out of your busy schedule, because I know it's busy, dog. You could be using this time to wind down, so I definitely appreciate you for taking the time to chit-chat with me, dog. Like you said, this ain't an interview, man. This is two partners that have been knowing each other since damn near birth, just catching up, and you know what I'm saying, and it's been a pleasure, dog. Like you know what I'm saying, I catch you every now and again. We chat for a minute, and it's always like old times. Just you know what I'm saying, I follow what I can follow. You know what I'm saying, because like I said, you know what I'm saying. So it's a pleasure, man. It's surreal seeing, you know what I'm saying, people that I know doing big things. You know what I'm saying. It's like coming from where we're from. We know a lot of us are destined for greatness. A lot of us are destined for greatness in, like, you know, what people might consider average things. Like I know like 10 lawyers. I know like 5 doctors. I know hundreds of nurses, but I only know one movie director that's directing movies with big name Oscar winners and shit. I only know like one of my friends who has his products being sold in Foot Lockers, you know, in different cities. Like, you know, I got one friend who is, you know, a restaurant owner who has multiple restaurants, you know what I'm saying? So like, I know a lot of people that do a lot of, you know, average things, doctors, lawyers, you know, blue collar workers, white collar, they do that thing, but it's like, it's only a handful of us that's going to be what people look at and automatically attach success to it. And you're one of those people, whether you embrace that or not. I know, you know, I know the humble aspect comes with it, where it's like, hey, you know, I ain't there yet, but it's like, bro, when you looking at it, you're doing great things. And I know it's way more greater things coming, dog. So I'm proud of you. I appreciate you, dog. Anything you want to say before we end this recording?
Oh man, you know, I'm proud of you, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like shit, looking at your ass from being in goddamn Miss Reese class, you know what I'm saying, all the way up to now. Right. Entrepreneur extraordinaire, you know what I'm saying? And like shit, honestly, man, you Mr. Tuskegee, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I think of Tuskegee, man, I think I can't help but think about you, St. Joseph, you know what I'm saying? Shit, our class,
my part, man.
It's just like that's a part of my history, dog. Same way, you know what I'm saying? That we all our little class, we know each other's mamas and grandmamas. You know what I'm saying?
Always. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like our whole little class, like we know each other, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know, it's one of the things, like, all of us have like stayed at our parents, like stayed at each other's houses. Our parents, like, it was back when times where like your parents had permission to whoop other people's kids. It's like, if I was at your house and I was doing wrong, your mama had permission to knock me the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, that's how it always was, man. But cheers, my brother. This is to much more success. All your wildest dreams coming true. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an extended version of BREADren Podcast Cocktail Convos with the illustrious Juel Taylor. hometown hero from Tuskegee, Alabama, man. My good friend. Always a pleasure, man. But you can follow us on all social media at BREADren Pod. It's BREADRENPOD. Bread, like bread, because we always about our bread and we always getting bread. Follow us on all social media, like we said, and we will catch you on the flip side. Shout out to my colleagues, Dr. John Levin, PhD, and Mr. Deshaun Wells, Deshaun Wells Consultant. We will be back with regular episodes soon, so stay tuned, follow us, and see what we got going on. We love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Peace.